So my name is Vince Sharifi, and I've been a composer for almost 20 years, since I was 17. I love music. I grew up with great music. I grew up with video game music, and I've been a video game composer for 3 years now. And I've done 2 soundtracks, one for Primordial VR from Punk Studios, and also the upcoming Tarzan VR from Punk Studios. Now I wanted to make this video because I couldn't find it that much about this topic on why and how video game music changed over the last 20 years. And I want to demonstrate what my thoughts are on why video game music changed. But first I want to give a little bit of a history with some of video game music that I grew up with up until the 2000s. So this video is gonna be long, but if you want to skip all that, you can just jump to part 3, which is the main part of this video, where I look into the modern games and see if I can add some more personality to it just by adding some music with musical purpose to the games. But this video is mainly directed to developers, game developers. But also, if you're not a game developer and you find this interesting, I welcome you to watch this. But mainly, I want video game developers to maybe look into this topic and see if they find it interesting. So let's get into it. So we're gonna start up with this game. It's Fatal Fury from 1991. And it's a pretty simple Street Fighter-esque type of game. But what's great about it is, of course, the music. This game has a great sense of melodic purpose, as I call it. The music tells you something. So this game is about avenging your father's death. And next we have one of the last levels of the game, leading up to the killer of your father. But again, you can hear that the music is telling you you're closer to your goal. And now you can hear music that represents that, yeah, you made it. Until, of course, this. You can hear the music is ramping up. Serious. And now we have the final boss. And this track is one of the best final boss tracks I've heard, even to this day. You can hear the seriousness of the track. It's almost as if it's speaking to you. If I had to choose only one song that represents what I call melodic purpose, it would be this song. And this is my favorite part of the song. Absolutely fantastic. And even the ending credit music is great. Listen to this. This is another great game from the 80s with a lot of great tracks on it. And again, when it's time to fight the boss, the music will tell you it's time to fight the boss. Here we have Sonic the Hedgehog, one of my childhood games as well. And I remember this level sticking out the most, especially the song. And this, I believe, is the last level of the game. And again, the music lets you know. And you can hear how the music keeps continuing. You know, it's almost like it's telling a story. Oh, this track. I remember this track. I used to love this track when I was a kid. It got me pumped up for this final battle. Take a listen. Next up we have Streets of Rage 1, known for its great music. Now that bit is absolutely fantastic. So this is a weird game called Strider from 1989, I think. Super cool game that switches environments all the time on you. I always thought this was weird to climb on top of the centipede. But here is the final boss music. This is a fine classical piece. So this ending is interesting. It gets you fired up, pumped up, and eventually reaches a interesting climax. And this is a sweet little musical snippet with excellent notes. And again, we have some straightforward music with melodic purpose. It's as determined as the way Batman walks. Don't be fooled by the sound of the instruments. This could very well be a hit song had it been made in a regular type of way. Now here comes my favorite track from the game. This track makes you pumped up for some action. Now bear in mind, there is gameplay happening, but it's not that much. Mostly it's like you're enjoying the music while doing some form of something while playing. But mainly, you're enjoying the music and doing that activity while listening to the awesome music. Next up we have Alien Storm from 1990. It's a weird, scary game when you're a kid in the 90s playing this game. But what it did really good was it set the mood quite well. It set an alien mood. And here we got that determined, serious background music that lets you know this is serious. So in this last level, you're inside of an alien head that is outside in space. So the game is very consistent with its, you know, alien feel. Here we got a game almost everybody knows, Street Fighter 2. And it also has a lot of great music in it. And this is one of them. Now this is Zelda: A Link to the Past, one of my favorite games from the 16-bit era. What I loved about this game was the puzzles and of course the music. And I will touch on the latest Zelda: Breath of the Wild later on in part 3 of this video. Now this is a game known for its great music. It's called Castlevania. And this game, like all the other Castlevania games, has a lot of great music in it. And here comes my favorite bit in this song. Absolutely beautiful, this little bit. Now here's a game not many people know about called ActRaiser, and the composer for this is a man called Yuzo Koshiro, and he has done some amazing scores for all kinds of games. And as you can hear, this music has melodic purpose all over it. This is a game called Sylphid. I played this in 1993 and I always liked the music of it. There's some kind of deepness to the music.
Missiles coming in fast. Intercept systems to emergency code. Quick!
Now we're done with the first part of the three-part segment. So this was the 80s to mid-90s segment. This is Panzer Dragoon from 1995 on the Sega Saturn. And I remember playing this, I was like, wow. It's 3D graphics with some beautiful music. And you can hear the music keeps going. It's going somewhere. I love this bit coming now. No bullshitting around with this track, it's straight to the point. Now this level has a very deep middle piece in it. It's a wonderful musical piece. Now here it comes. Beautiful chords. Absolutely beautiful. Now this game has arguably the best game soundtrack that I've heard. The composer for this soundtrack is a woman named Michiru Yamane. Absolutely fantastic composer. Writes in a classical style, which is the ultimate style of music. If you didn't know that this was on a game, you could have mistaken this for a Beethoven musical track. The thing that impresses me with this game, with its music, is that not a single track in this game is bad. Like, it's great all through. That's why I think this is the best game soundtrack of all time. And this is no cheap composition. It's a very complex and unique composition. It's right there with all the Mozarts and Beethovens of the past. This woman should get an award for her compositions. Absolutely beautiful compositions. Now this is a role-playing game called Suikoden, and it has some fantastic compositions on it. Absolutely great. Now this composer is again composing in the classical style and doing it magnificently. this is a sad track that absolutely gets you. Beautiful. Now this water level track is so fitting. It makes you just want to swim deeper. Beautiful.
Battle 1, fight! Out of the ring! This victory strengthens the soul of you win! Battle 2, fight! Victory strengthened the soul of Sonina. You win!
That was some intense orchestral classical music. And here we have another classical composition.
Battle 1.
Fantastic.
This victory strengthens the soul of Sonina. You win! Battle 2, fight!
Now this game probably has my second favorite game soundtrack of all time. Final Fantasy VII. It's the most famous one for a reason. And I would say it's because of its soundtrack. And this song is beautiful. It's a sad song. Very beautiful. Now there has been a remake of this game released for the PS4 just recently, and I must say I did not quite like the remakes of the music. Even though the instrumentation was better, I think the arrangements and everything in the original is superior. I must say that. Now this is a fairly unknown game called Shenmue, and this will be the last game I cover in the second segment from the late 90s. It has a fantastic musical score.
Stay back, mule.
Probably the last good
For the
score
last time,
of the century.
where is the mirror?
I've no intention of telling you.
Father! Why? Now then.
No matter how often you ask, I'll never tell. No, don't!
Hand over the mirror. Or else, your son.
Wait! The mirror, it's buried under the cherry tree.
Do you remember Chao Sun Ming?
Chao,
That's the name of the man you killed in Moon Swoon.
it can't be. You!
Get up. I'll allow you to die like a warrior. Father! Wendy-sama, we have it.
Forgive me for leaving you alone.
What are you saying? Father!
Your friends. Keep friends. Those you love close to you.
No. Father! No!
Ryo, while you're still sleeping in bed, farmers are working hard in the fields, carefully picking carrots one by one. So how can you waste them like that?
Okay, I'll eat them.
Good. That's my boy.
And for the last song, I want to show off this beautiful piece of music. It's absolutely beautiful when it gets into the chorus. Check it out. So that was the end of that century, and then came the 2000s. And somewhere in the 2000s things started to change. as we will go into right now. But before that, I just want to quickly look at driving games. I used to be a big fan of driving games back in the days. Started with Outrun from the 80s to Daytona USA from the 90s and Sega Rally from the 90s. And I'm going to go through why, in my opinion, driving games are not as special as they were back in the day. And again, in my opinion, it's because the music is lacking, frankly. But we're gonna look and see how music does so much for video games or even movies, whatever it is, because music sets emotions. So depending on what music you have, it triggers different emotions, and we're gonna look at that now.
30, turn early 2 right of a crest, into 6 left long, opens 30, narrow 3 right, tightens of a crest, into turn 4 left long.
So you can see this is a very well made driving game. There's nothing wrong with it. In fact, it's much better than driving games ever was. But it's lacking something. It's lacking music. And not only that, it's lacking good music.
80, tight hairpin left.
Now, if you look at this is not an advanced driving game at all. It's a bunch of left and rights and drifting. That's it. But what makes this game interesting is, of course, the music. It has a great soundtrack. Now this is like a 3D advanced version of Outrun. It's nothing serious, a bunch of drifting, but in 3D. But what it does have is a kick-ass, energetic soundtrack that keeps you pumped. Now why do we all, or most of us, when we drive, we want to pump up the volume on the stereo with some kick-ass music when we drive? Well, it's because we enjoy driving and listening to kick-ass music really loud. And this is a great song in this driving game called Sega Rally. So now we're going to look at the modern driving game Dirt Rally 2.0. And as far as I know, this driving game does not have any music in it. And a lot of other driving games in the modern era seem to not care for music at all. Or if they have music, it's something that doesn't give you that much of emotions. It's lacking musical purpose, as I phrase it. So let's look at it without music, and then I'm gonna add some of my own compositions to it, just to switch the feeling of it. So let's check it out.
3 right long, tightens turn, hairpin right, don't cut. Into 4 left long, tightens turn, hairpin left. 80, turn, hairpin left. 50.
So as you can see, when it's lacking music with musical purpose, it just feels like you're driving without any goal. You're just driving loosely. But as soon as you put a musical track with musical purpose in it, it gives the game purpose. It feels like you're driving with a purpose.
One left tightens. 30. right, into 3 left, into turn 2 right, opens, left, opens very long, tightens over crest, into 3 right long, don't cut, opens, into 2 left, tightens, don't cut, into 6 right, 3 left, don't cut through narrow grade, opens over crest, into 6 right over crest, into 3 left long, tightens, don't cut, into 6 right, into don't cut, left, into 5 right, left, into slow, 2 right, very long, opens over crest, into 4 left, slow 20, keep right over crest, turn see open heavy left, 3 right over crest, into 5 left, 30, 4 left long, tightens, into 6 right, and 6 left, into 2 right tightens, into 2 left tightens, into 4 right, opens over crest, into 6 left long, into 5 right long.
Now this racing game has some kind of music on, but it's not something that pumps you up or is of significance. So now let's put some musical purpose in it. So there I think I know why, at least in my opinion, why driving games today don't feel as special as back in the day. It's because of the music. And great music with purpose. Musical purpose. The songs need to tell you something. They need to be direct with what they want to tell you. And that is what is lacking ever since the mid or early 2000s. I don't know what happened, but some way music got lost in all of this. Now we're going to go into the last part, the third part of this video, which really is the main part of why I wanted to do this video, to show how great music with musical purpose can add so much to an already great product or a game and make it super great and make it a game that won't be forgotten. A classic, really. And I think it's such a shame that not too many developers these days look into the music part and how important the music is. It seems that most of the focus is on the graphics, which is important, but without the music it's gonna lack something. So now we're going to do the same thing I did with the driving games. I'm going to add some of my own compositions to Assassin's Creed Origins, Red Dead Redemption 2, Zelda Breath of the Wild, and Horizon Zero Dawn. So we're going to check it out.
Oh.
Careful you don't overfill the jars.
I seek the master brewer, Hakuf.
I have no time. Speak to one of my overseers if you must.
You misunderstand. I am a Magi. Apollodorus sent me.
Apollodorus, of course.
He sent me for the scarab, the shadow that darkens Sais.
Shh, please. That is an evil name to...
Come back! Take up your iron and join us! Brave, loyal servants of the Topoliths! We will root these rivers out of their holes and spill their blood on the sand! This task you have put yourself to, it seems impossible. Only the gods can know that for sure, Vi. And if I do not reach for the stars, how will I know how close I am yet? Metropolis was a wonder once, before the desert overtook it.
I see them. I'll not be sucked to a scupper for nothing.
Now you're just trying to impress me.
More speed, Zeno! Up the pace, brothers!
Sails on the horizon, there! Those colors are not from Rome. The messes this boxing queen dragged us into.
Ptolemy's ships, sent by the order of ancients, no doubt.
What business do they have with Pompey?
Pompey's armies will give Cleopatra the throne. They mean to prevent the alliance before it appears.
You remind me of the Alexandrian whores I am gifted by the Order of Ancients. Perhaps I will keep you around.
Now you've offended me.
Disparos, Ptolemy! Be gone!
And I need some danger money.
So, let's sell some more of these cures.
Sell cures? Around here? Do you want to see me lynched?
Good. Let's hope it's him. Can you tell which way he went?
This way. Looks like the trail ends here. We lost him?
For now. A little optimism, Arthur.
Well, what do you think?
I think we split up and each look.
Either that or we could place bait here.
That could work. Which do you think?
Let's bait here.
Fine by me. Let's leave the bag over there. By those boulders up ahead, looks like a good spot for it.
£1,000, you say?
More or less. Big scar down his face. Good. Let's hope it's him. Can you tell which way he went?
This way. Looks like the trail ends here. We lost him?
For now. A little optimism, Arthur.
Well, what do you think?
I think we split up and each look.
Either that or we could place bait here.
That could work. Which do you think?
Let's bait here.
Fine by me. Let's leave the bag over there. By those boulders up ahead, looks like a good spot for it.
£1,000, you say?
More or less. Big scar down his face. Hey, did that bait locate you?
I think so. You're the expert.
Ready with your gun there? Let me hand you. Got your knife? Shit. Easy. No, it's too close.
Seen a priest.
Yes, he went that way. Angry jackass.
Right. Get your hands off him.
Word! You'll keep. You stay out of it.
Get your hands off him now, you son of a bitch.
What the hell is your problem?
He's with me.
I'll kill you both. Pair of damn fools. You bastard!
A priest.
Yes, he went that way. Angry jackass.
Right. Get your hands off Yep. I won't tell a soul. I promise.
On second thoughts, you can give me all your money, too.
Okay, here, just take it. Just please let me go.
Goddamn fool. Go! Reverend! Get off the damn tracks! What have you done with your foot?
It appears to like this place and wants to stay.
Get your foot out of here! Twist your leg, you drunken bastard! Help! Got it! Come on! Done with your foot!
It appears to like this place and wants to stay.
Get your foot out of here! Twist your leg, you drunken bastard! Help! Got it! Come
As clearly seen, if you put a musical track with musical purpose in it, it adds to the emotion of the video game or movie or whatever it is. It makes it more personal, much more memorable, and just give it much more purpose, really. Now this is a Zelda game, and I usually love Zelda games because of its music mostly, but unfortunately this game did not have any music except some random notes here and there playing randomly, but that doesn't do anything for me.
Oh. No. No. Ah. Oh.
So now for the last game, it's Horizon Zero Dawn. A fantastic game. It has fantastic AI, beautiful environments. It has some music, but I still think it could be done better with some more musical purpose if it had tracks with musical purpose on the game. But it's still one of the best games I've played in the modern day era.
Be ready to roll out of the way.
Keep firing!
So this was my video on why video game music has changed over the last 20 years. It simply lacks musical purpose, in my opinion. Let me know if you agree with me or disagree with me in the comment section. And also, if you're a developer that would be interested in having me put some musical purpose on your video games, don't hesitate to contact me in my homepage, which is in the description box. And thank you to everybody that watched this long video about how video game music changed through the years. Thank you. Peace out.